Blessings, everyone. Today I would like to share. This is Messages from the Guides. And I love this oracle deck from James Van Praagh because when the guides come through, the messages that are on the oracle cards are the beautiful guiding nudges from all of those in the unseen realms that are giving us our little synchronicities, tidbits, downloads to help keep us very true to our journey here, because this is a story that we've decided to tell here. And through all the learning, all the expanding, all the sacred space that we experience while we're in the physical, we're always asking for these little tidbits, or as Mavis Patillo would say, droplets of God, to filter through into our awareness and help us stay on our path. And this morning, Spirit came through for me and was kind of being ironic with some of the ways the messages were coming through this morning, and it fit perfectly. They do have a sense of humor, but they're also the way they send others into our lives or certain situations. It's always geared for us to know at that perfect moment what the message is pertaining to. And so today was one of those days when it was kind of like, I'm not getting it. And then I stepped away from trying to figure it out. And there was the answer that I was looking for. It came through Sasha today, exactly what I needed. And it was a really beautiful blessing. And so Spirit is nudging to just give a little message today for anyone who's drawn through the guides, whoever that may be, or whatever, however that may be for you. Just to kind of meditate and allow the message to resonate a little bit and see where it applies, because sometimes we'll hear something, and that was a big thing also that I got this morning, and I'm thinking that doesn't apply to me. This isn't resonating. It's not, I don't need to understand this. And that was because I was using my filters. And this is something that we are all working through here, is trying to take everything through our filters. Or if we get a sign, we go on the internet and we want to look up what it means. If we get a word that we've never heard before, or we see something interesting, like maybe we see a peacock on our front lawn and we're like, oh my goodness, what does that mean? And sometimes what Spirit is saying, the guides are coming through saying, is that it may not resonate in that moment. And if it doesn't resonate exactly in that moment, we'll know whether we have to go seeking out the answer, or it's something just to hold on to and remember. And the answer will align at the perfect time that it's meant to. Sometimes they use little things that are really, really seemingly odd or bizarre or just absolutely incredible. And it's not sticking with us in that moment. It's because they want us to remember that moment. They want us to remember what we were given. And then when it's going to apply, wow, it's just so perfectly aligned. And we are saying, oh my goodness, now I know why the peacock was on the front lawn. And so that is just something that was reminded me today, and I'm sharing that. So first I would like to say thank you to Source for allowing me to be the medium of light. And I ask all the guides and those in the unseen worlds to please step forward and help bring a message for the collective for the highest good. I am so very grateful. Thank you. And I'm just going to shuffle quick. I do 3. First one is embodiment of Source. The second one is embodiment of Spirit. And the third shuffle is embodiment of Soul. And the reason why I do that is because Spirit says, as you're moving the physical cards, it's also a reminder to move that energy aligned right in that space. They call that the Trinity. It's the 3, which is Source aligned with Spirit into Soul. And then what I do is I just move the cards around a little bit, and they want this one right away. Live your bliss. And as a guide, step forward to bring the message with us. They're saying that when we use our filters and we think of bliss, there are so many different aspects or ideas that we have of what that means. And today's message is very simple. They're just saying that the bliss isn't something that we have to figure out. It's not a space we have to step into. It's not something that we have to work towards. It's just a simple allowing and knowing that whatever we're experiencing in that moment, if we allow it to fill us with joy, bliss is following. And bliss can mean many different things to many different people, although we know the general term of bliss is that happy feeling, that feeling of surrendering and happiness and joy to whatever it is that's coming through in the moment. But live our bliss. When we think of this, do we have to give it an experience? Do we have to give it a definition? Do we have to give it a moment that's put in our memory to draw on to experience bliss? What is bliss? Sometimes the Spirit showing me is this beautiful scene of a stream flowing. And they're saying bliss is when we acknowledge we're in the perfect space where everything is flowing, we're allowing. Nothing is finding a force. Nothing is having resistance. It's just movement within. And when we're in a space of joy and we're living right in our moment, we're being very present, there isn't any of this. There isn't any figuring things out. There isn't any resistance. It's flowing. And we have to allow the happiness, the joy, the euphoria, whatever words and terms we want to give it, to flow. Because sometimes we'll block it. We'll block it by trying to figure out, what is our bliss? What is it that makes us happy? What is it that we should be doing? Just coming from that space of the mental worlds, they're saying that bliss isn't found in that space. If we have to think about bliss, if we have to step into bliss, if we have to create bliss, then we're missing the fullest experience of this. Because like love, bliss is another expression of love. It just is. It flows. When we're in our bliss, we're not questioning anything. We're not second guessing ourselves. We're not analyzing what it is about the moment. And we're not trying to recreate a moment that we've experienced bliss from a space of memory. We're just flowing in that moment, in the joy, allowing the experience, and knowing that living in the bliss is being fully present. We don't have to do anything. We could just be sitting on the porch with a cup of tea, and that is bliss. Bliss doesn't necessarily mean that we have to be on the Greek islands, soaking in this beautiful azure-colored water, surrounded by yachts, and spending our lottery winnings. Spirit is laughing. They're saying laughing. If we really need that moment to be reminded of bliss, laughing. They're saying this is one expression that all of us can understand and relate to, no matter what our culture, what our belief systems, where our place is in this beautiful world of ours. Laughing is bliss because we're surrendering to the joy of it. We're surrendering to the whole experience. We're not worried about how we're looking or what's going on around us. We're just living fully in that moment. And they say that's why children live their bliss so easily, because they're not afraid to laugh. They're not afraid of is anybody going to think they're strange at what they're laughing at? Children laugh at everything. And as adults, sometimes the Spirit's saying we get to be sticklers, and we say, that's not funny, or that isn't right, or that's silly. And that's it. That's not the space where we're going to find that true bliss. The true bliss, living in that bliss, is surrendering to it, allowing it flowing, no resistance, and letting it reinvent and reinvigorate every part of our being. They're saying that we're in our bliss, and they're using this example as laughter. Every part of us is resonating the magnificence that we are. And so today, live the bliss. Don't try to figure it out. Don't try to induce it. Just be. Thank you, everyone, for allowing me to share this message with you. Beautiful blessings.